Good morning, YouTube. Today, we're going to take my Ferrari 458 out on the road and pull the parking brake because Ferrari told me to do so.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan and this is my garage and this is my Ferrari 458. And this channel is all about the supercar ownership experience. And if you didn't know, right now there is an ongoing recall for the Ferrari 458 and for the 488. Basically, there's a lot of conjecture on the internet about what exactly is the problem, but we do know that there is a brake failure that can happen in some cases. I've tried to dig into it a little bit, and unfortunately the facts out there are a little bit muddied because there's a lot of speculation about this or that, but what I've kind of gathered is it sounds like there is a leak in the brake booster or in the master cylinder, or somehow I think the master cylinder leaks into the brake booster. Brake fluid is leaking out of the system, and it's leaking in a way that you can't see it leak, like it doesn't go to the ground, so you're not getting like a puddle on the ground, so there's no signs of it there. But all of a sudden you have less and less brake fluid to the point where your brakes fail. People have reported very firm pedals and almost no braking. That's kind of a scary problem, and obviously it's a big deal if your brakes fail, especially if you're on track. That could be absolutely catastrophic. We're not going to talk about the fix for that because apparently there is no fix at the moment. Also, a quick note is that that's actually a Bosch part. So yes, Ferrari's doing the recall, but it is a Bosch part, and that's kind of one of the problems. You're dealing with two companies, not one. So who knows who's going to actually fix it and how they're going to fix it. Let's talk about this letter I got from Ferrari of North America about the recall and what they actually tell you to do if your brakes fail. So real quick, if you want to help us out, please like, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate that greatly. And also go visit normalguysupercar.com. There you can buy parts and services for your cars, including Ferrari 458s. And we really do appreciate when you guys support us by doing that. That is how we keep this business going. So we're gonna hook you up with 10% off almost everything by using the code NGS10. And finally, if there's something that's not on the website or you want to get a custom quote, email us sales@normalguysupercar.com and we'll hook you up even more. So here is the recall letter they got from Ferrari of North America. So if you notice, the bold section in the middle says the vehicle's electronic parking brake can be used as an emergency brake when the vehicle is in motion. See your owner's manual for further information. So I'm kind of curious how it actually behaves when you do that because, well, normally none of us are running around pulling the parking brake while we're driving around. The other thing is there's a lot of people who don't even know where the parking brake button is on this car because it's not completely obvious. You know, you don't have the old handle and it's not like in the center console or anything like that. So I'm gonna show you where it is. And then we're gonna go out and drive the car and see what happens when you pull it. Does it lock up the tires? Does it just slow down gracefully? I don't know, so let's find out. And that way we can feel a little bit more comfortable if this happens to you that, okay, we're gonna actually be able to stop. So the first thing that we gotta do is, of course, locate the parking brake button, which in the Ferrari 458 is actually right there. So you can see that is the parking brake button. So you actually pull it like that to activate the parking brake. This button up here turns it from auto to manual. So most of us have it set to auto, and that's where it's set up where if you turn off the car, it automatically sets it, and you turn on the car and start driving, it'll automatically disable it as soon as you start rolling. Let's turn on the ignition, and we gotta wait for all the beeping to stop, but you can see right there is the park light. So the parking brake is set right now. So when I click this button down here, I think actually because it's not on, it might not allow me to turn off the parking brake. Depress brake pedal. Okay, so let's pull the parking brake with my foot on the brake. It doesn't want to deactivate. I think because the car is not on. All right, let's fire it up. And we'll wait for the cold start to finish. Okay, so now that the car is running, let's try pulling the parking brake, and you can see, oh, there it's flashing, and then it should be off, and there you go. So now theoretically, we're just sitting in park on the transmission, no parking brake. So let's go out and drive it and pull the parking brake, and we'll see what happens. First, I'm gonna test it out on some residential roads, just going very slow where there's no traffic. Okay, I'm gonna find a straight section of road, and we'll just go the speed limit and pull the parking brake and see what happens, all right? All right, here we go. Whoa, okay. Looks like you have to pull it and hold it. So it beeped at me, but I released it and then it stopped. So hold on, let's try it again, ready? Whoa, okay. It kicks in hard. That's interesting. Wow, it's like jamming on the brakes. And you do have to hold it. So just so you know, if this ever happens to you and you're needing to pull the parking brake as an emergency brake, you have to hold it. I'm gonna go onto a faster road and let's try doing it there and see if it behaves differently when you're going really fast. I'm going 30 now, so we were doing about 20. Let's try doing 30. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa. And it keeps getting, it like grabs harder and harder and harder. Whoa. So at least it doesn't lock up the tires. Okay, we got clear open road, no one around. Let's go about 60 and try it. Okay, we're going 60. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Whoa. All right, well, works as advertised. Other than you need to keep your finger on it, so it kind of would be like if you did a manual parking brake, had your thumb on the button and pulled up, you'd have to keep it pulled up, you know, it wouldn't lock. That's kind of how it's behaving, which is actually probably a good thing while it's rolling, to not have it just suddenly turn on the parking brake and lock it and then you not be able to control it. I do feel like it is a controllable stop. Like I would not feel too worried having to do that, other than the fact that I don't know if that would be effective when you're at like race pace on a track. That could be kind of scary, and certainly if it was wet or snowy, that could be really scary because I don't know if it's activating. I would assume the ABS doesn't work with that. That's my assumption. So if you're doing that, the parking brake, there's no ABS. So if you pulled it on wet conditions, it's entirely possible to lock up your tires and you could spin out. So I think in those situations, you'd have to be much more careful than when you're just driving if this happens. So hopefully, I mean, how many of you are driving on snow? No one. Driving in the wet weather, okay, maybe it's raining and the brakes start to go. So according to Ferrari, you just need to check the brake fluid level. I would do that regularly now, especially if you're gonna be doing any sort of hard driving. Do that before any sort of hard driving events. It was kind of not super eventful doing the parking brake. Another thing to note is that if it's having difficulty braking, use the engine braking. Downshift, use the left paddle, downshift it as much as you can, because the engine braking in this is really effective. I don't know about you guys that have these cars, but I barely ever use the brakes when I'm just driving around normally. I just downshift and it slows it down to almost a stop. Let's pull it one more time just for fun. Oh, Jesus. As soon as we turn off the car, I'll turn on the parking brake. And you can actually hear that. That's that sound. So I don't think you're gonna put like excessive wear on your parking brake. Because it's all electronically controlled, it's not like where you might accidentally leave your handbrake on. The computer's taking care of all that for you. I'm actually really glad I did that because I feel now a little bit more confident that if something goes wrong, I know how the car will behave. So I actually would recommend, if you guys have a 458, you probably should go out and just experience it. So try pulling the parking brake handle and just see how the car behaves. Obviously do it somewhere where there's no one else around, no cars around, just in case it does lock up the tires. I mean, I have to assume it's not using ABS, so it could lock up the tires. So just be careful, experience it just to see, so if something ever happens, you can actually control it to a safe stop and hopefully save yourself in the car. But anyway, I hope you guys appreciate that, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, again, please go check out normalguyssupercar.com, and there you can buy parts and services for your car. Hook yourself up with 10% off almost everything using the code NGS10. And if you need a custom quote, email us sales@normalguyssupercar.com and we'll hook you up even better. That's one of our goals. We want to give you guys the best deals that we can possible. Other than that, you know the drill. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and we're going to be doing a lot more car stuff, so you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.